Okay, and I think that we are about to go live.
Okay.
Um, Hi, everyone. Today we have an exciting and a slightly different kind of a call. Um, we have Sam Husseini on our call. Sam is a longtime visitor, I guess we can call visitor or listener or participant in these calls. But today we're going to talk to him directly about AI related business ideas in specifically creating AI agents in the field of cybersecurity because Sam has been working in cybersecurity for a long time. And we're going to discuss a few business ideas in that space. So, Sam, welcome. And maybe in addition to my introduction, you can also give a little bit more background about your background in this field and what you're hoping to, where we should end up in this call. And we'll start.
Okay. Sorry about the. I just came from work. I took my shirt off. It's hot in here. I live in Texas, by the way. But I'm a Microsoft certified engineer. I'm a Microsoft certified administrator, A plus, Net plus, MCT, and all this fancy other stuff. A lot of Microsoft certifications. But I've been working with Splunk, SPLUNK, for a long, long time, for over 10 years, for state of Texas. And then I worked for U.S. government and whatever. But I've had my small business that does cybersecurity for small businesses for longest time for over 10 years. So very soon I told Alex this that I'm going to drop because where I work at is far, far away from where I live, where I moved. So that's kind of little about my background. But what has been happening lately, cybersecurity is becoming a bigger issue to doctors, to psychiatrists, to hospitals and stuff. Theft is becoming a very normal procedure. So I'm helping them, the small businesses, to find out, um, you cannot type your social security number here because it's been reported stolen a few times. It's a bad site to be in. So I'm conversing with Alex to see if he thinks that's a good idea. So I'm creating AI agents that will warn the user, don't put your social security here. Don't don't basically what's happening today as we speak today is that some of the workers at this doctor's office were saying that the internet's telling them that their last name is wrong. They swear to God that's not that is their last name. That's the way they spell it and whatever. But what is causing all this? Um, I told Alex a minute ago that a few days ago somebody stole social security numbers, ended up in Switzerland. Some of it ended up in Italy somewhere. So I'm creating AI agents so I can plant on their site, on their user site, and to warn. Basically, that's what the AI agent is supposed to do, to warn the user. Don't put your social security number here. This is what you're supposed to put in. Basically, the trap they fall into is that they misspell the word, or they misspell the site, or they misspell something in whatever they are doing, and they fall into the trap. So um, this is a long story that takes 7 hours for me to explain it, but kind of this is what's happening. Theft is becoming a very normal thing at the moment. So I'm inventing and creating AI agents to plant on the site to warn the user, don't put your information here. That's not a good site. You misspelled it. Check the website again. And they go in and check, and oh, this is where I put my B instead of a C or whatever. Anyway, I don't know if I did what Alex told me to do, but I explained the best I could.
So these are basically kind of small business owners that are a little bit not technically savvy and they run into all kinds of problems, right?
Correct. Correct, sir. Correct, sir.
And just for people in the audience and listening, so the idea of the AI agent is basically you tell, what is an agent as opposed to just software. The agent, you give it a task and it runs in the background until that task is complete. Um, where a software just, you give it a process, it finishes the process, is done, right? So the agent can, you can tell it, hey, monitor the user continuously, right? So something like that. uh, which I think is a very interesting uh, use case. Because before our call, I also was telling you about um, the use case that I thought that I would like, because there's a lot of people that I know that run into the problem, like, not just small business owners, but consumers, where like not only do they enter information in weird places, which it doesn't just happen to business owners, it happens to regular consumers, but they also download a bunch of stuff and then they don't know what's on their computer, if it's malicious software, if it's not malicious software. So I think that AI agent can also detect different programs that are running and help people identify, like, hey, is this the bad malicious software, or is it just going to slow down my computer, or should I delete it? What can I delete? What's good? What's bad? If it can tell them honestly on the fly, I think that would be very helpful. And I think it's similar to what you're talking about, just kind of monitoring, like almost like an assistant or an aid, to make sure that people just don't become their worst enemy, right? Like, don't step in a puddle, so to speak, right? um, and just use the internet correctly. Are we on the same page with that?
Yes, sir. The other day I found out that somebody that the antivirus had expired on their machine, and they didn't know that. These are average people, and they're not you and I kind of people, Alex. They have no idea what antivirus is versus a hole in the ground. But so to answer your question, most of these people are not they're not savvy. They're not technically savvy. So antivirus has expired on their machine. They were not aware of it, and basically that's what I solved. From where I come from, what I do is very simple, but from where they come from, it's a big deal.
Yes. Okay. I think it would be a really useful AI agent, to be honest, because this kind of a thing plagues so many people. Um, and yeah, it's a great idea. And what I really like about it is, like, it's in a niche, because it's not something that's super apparent. Like, most people, like, the software, the AI agent I'm making is the sales related one, but that's a very common kind of a software. What I like about your idea is that it's like in a niche, and there's just not going to be as much competition. um, and I think people will immediately appreciate it. So uh, yeah, I really like that. um, Before this
I
call,
have a
I
question,
looked. Yeah,
Alex.
yeah.
Should AI agent be focused on cybersecurity, or should it also focus on AI and SEO and all this? Or what do you say? What do you say?
I think just security, like focus very narrow, like um, help people avoid malicious software, make sure their antivirus up to date, make sure they don't make any mistake. Basically, like almost like a guardian, internet guardian kind of thing, right? So don't focus on any SEO, don't do any marketing. That's too peripheral and too unrelated.
What about two agents, one for cybersecurity, one for AI?
It's one of those things. It's one at a time, because even
One at a time.
you'll find that even to get the cybersecurity one working well, it's really hard, because um, it's like it's easy to tell AI, like, hey, build me this thing, but then it builds it and it's like not perfect, so you have to adjust this, adjust that, adjust this, adjust that, and before you know it, you're making like hundreds of adjustments, and you have to really focus on all the adjustments, and so it becomes really hard to do two things. And especially because the cybersecurity is so much in your wheelhouse and you have experience and existing clients,
Mm.
not only will it help you sell to new clients better, because you're like, oh, I have this special software that I created, it kind of positions you as more of an expert. um, but existing clients that you have can be potential clients for the software already, right? So it's easy to sell, you know so I
Okay,
think,
thank you.
yeah,
Appreciate it.
yeah, it really makes sense as a just focusing on security and creating a great value proposition, like almost like your internet guardian, right? Like, don't make it you if you make a mistake, it will warn you or prevent you, that kind of thing, so people can feel safe, because there's so much scam, and people just fall for all sorts of like horrible things, um and it's heartbreaking. So it will be very useful. uh so I guess in your Replit journey, Have you started playing around and making it?
Yes, sir. I have. I've invented a few agents already. They're not fancy as you want them to be. I learned it works. I don't know how many people are on the call, but Alex has been my coach for a long time, and I kind of follow his direction in a way. And he's my coach. But the cybersecurity AI agent, I came up with it a few days ago. To answer your question, Alex, I have invented a few AI agents. They don't do a lot of things for the agents, but at least it prevents them from falling into the fire.
I think your audio dropped off for a second.
They say
Could you repeat that? Because your audio dropped off for like 10 seconds.
I was going to say what I have done for the customers. I've created agents for them. It prevents them from falling into the fire. It doesn't do a lot of things, fancy other things that I was mentioning to you a minute ago, but I'm in process of doing that as we speak. But the least it can do, it prevents them from falling into the fire. That's kind of what I've done for the customers already. There's a variety of them, and I can't. There's no time for me to go over
I mean, I think it's interesting to go over the use cases that it, like, I think, as the examples.
things expiring on their site. Like Microsoft is one of them. Microsoft 365. I don't know how many people have Microsoft 365. I do. So antivirus expiring, Microsoft products expiring on the clients, and they're not aware of it, and they keep spending an hour and a half on it trying to troubleshoot it. But things that it would warn plainly say, look, your antivirus McAfee is out of order, or your board in Excel 365, Microsoft 365 is expired in June of 2025 or whatever. Things that are plainly will tell that. See, what I'm solving for the customers is that these agents are telling the customer in very plain English. This is what the problem is. It doesn't talk like Microsoft does. It kind of tells them, hey, your McAfee antivirus is expired. Is that hard? It doesn't say this hard, but it simply talks about that versus, talking about technically telling the average secretary, hey, your antivirus is doing this or whatever. She doesn't know what an antivirus is.
I think your audio dropped off a little bit. Um, Again, not
How
sure
much of
why.
it did you hear?
It just skips for like 5 seconds and then it comes back. So it mostly I heard about the secretary and then it dropped off.
It's just this, basically these agents tell the user in plain English. This is what the
Mm.
problem is. It
That
doesn't talk technically.
that's super helpful. Since it's a software, have you asked Replit to have you have it on your website now, right? That's what you were saying. You kind of put it on your website, or how?
No, sir. No, sir. I have not advertised it to my website. I was asking you earlier
Mm.
if you thought it was a wise thing to do, then I would advertise the hell out of it. I haven't done it, advertise it yet in the speed that I like to.
It's interesting. I think if the way you're thinking about it is like you have a few different agents, each one for like a small piece of small kind of use case, like looking for expiry date or something like that in software. Mm, Part of me is trying to think about whether it's kind of should go features in one bigger software package, um, but yeah, if it's too tiny, right? If it's just a too tiny of a use case, like looking for expired software, okay. But will people pay for that? I think it's a little bit of a hard thing to pay for, because it's too little to in terms of value proposition. But if you make that AI um, agent and maybe add a couple of other features to it, because it's already like working in the background. All you have to do is just check more things. I think it's relatively doable.
That focus
Then
on cybersecurity, correct?
Yeah, like within cybersecurity. So like
Got it.
one use case would be looking for expiry date for software. Another one would be like checking the cookies that are set. Another one would be like, looking at like what would be a good one for cybersecurity, like, checking whether you're like dealing with malicious websites. If you misspell some website, or questionable website, you'll get an alert if you go there, that kind of thing. So a few features like that, not a lot of features, but a few features like that, suddenly you can package that as a software package that can be commercialized to your existing customers. Say, hey, I made this software. It's going to run in the background and check for all sorts of things, and keep you safe. Um, so I think what you have to ask the AI is, how do you package it up so that it's a installable software, or is it going to run in a browser tab, or like, how is it going to run? What's the architecture of it, right? Like it can't be on your web. Like it can be downloaded probably from your website, but probably cannot be run from your website, because you maybe want to create it as an installable software that people can run, right? So that they can run it on their computer. Um, which brings up some architectural issues for how to build the software, like, because you have no control once it runs on their computer. If it was through a browser on your end, you could do more stuff. So I think you have to work through AI, like how would this work in practice? Like, do people install this? Is it through a browser tab? Is there another way? What do you think is would be the best way for this to function?
In my case, about half of my customers are non-technical, half of them. So downloading things from somewhere is out of the question. So
Right.
to answer your question properly, it would depend on the client, would depend on the customer. In case of what I've installed on their machine, I've done most all of it because they're not savvy. They're not technically savvy.
Mm,
They're doctors and nurses and stuff. They can tell you about viruses and sicknesses, but talking about antivirus and whatever, they have no idea what you're talking about. McAfee versus whatever.
hmm.
They don't know what. Some of them don't even know what cloud is.
Right, right, right. Um, okay, so let's think about how to. So they cannot download it, which is, I guess, okay, because most of these run through browser somehow. Um, I'm trying to think, because it's a little bit harder to do it through a browser, because if you're doing it through a browser, a lot of times browser software that doesn't have a ability to look at what's inside the computer. But I guess that's not a problem, right? If like because they don't have to look at the computer, they have to look at if people are doing harmful things on the internet. So they only need internet connection. Um, the problem is they have to keep a browser tab open for these agents to let them know about these things, right?
Mm.
So you somehow have to. I'm trying to think of how to structure it. Like if they make, let's say you set up a website and they make an account on your website, they log in, but it's really that your agent has to monitor what's happening on their computers and their browsers. So somehow, one way or another, they either have to get a browser like extension, which a lot of them, if they're not tech savvy, they won't do it, or they have to download something just like they would download a McAfee or antivirus. They would have to download this, right? This is because otherwise, how do you get it to work on their computer? It's possible you can walk them through it or create a video showing them how to download it, or download it for them in some cases, but they need to run that on their computer so that they at least understand how, at least enable the software to look at what's going on in the computer. Does that make sense?
Are you trying to say that um, it depends on if they can download it? If they can, what I was thinking of, it has to be downloaded on their machine and let it run on their
Yes.
machine.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't really see a different way. So yes, 100%. I would do that, and if it can run on their machine, it can check the hard disk, it can check their, RAM usage, it can check like what they're doing on their internet browsing. So you can check so many things, and over time, as you build up the features, it becomes infinitely valuable,
Okay,
almost
agreed,
like an antivirus but a agent.
agreed, agreed.
And I think will be super. I think it will be a super cool software that if you build it, I think people will have uh, a hunger for this kind of thing because they're tired of having their computer slow down. Um, are you building it like kind of after work, that kind of thing? Little by little.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And how has it been working with Replit for you? Is it like within Replit, are you like sort of operating in the test environment?
I've installed a few of them myself on their machines. Um, some of them are down the street from me. They're doctors and dentists and stuff. So it all depends. Depends on the distance I am from them. So it's all in process. What you're asking me, it's all in process. It's all
Mm.
happening as we speak.
But the software itself, like, how did you technically, these agents themselves, you didn't download that yet to these doctors' computers, right?
I have. In case of two of them, I have.
Also, you made it in Replit and you kind of made it a downloadable, or how did you install it?
Right. Make it downloadable. I originally emailed them the link to it, and they downloaded it for me. So um, that's kind of, and you have to walk them through it. Most of them not being technically savvy.
Mm.
You ask them, did you download it? What does it say? They will
Yeah.
tell you what they say. And you and I are up here, and these people are way down here. So I call them and say, what does it say? The download complete? Yes. And what does it say after that? You have to, and then when they learn it, then they go after that. You don't have to do it anymore. You just do it one time. But to answer your question, is all in process. But the one what you focused on that helped me out is that to separate them. You said once that to put it all in one agent, cybersecurity and the rest of them in one agent. Then is that what you said?
Well, the way I would do it is I would create a small feature set
Mm,
and launch it, which sounds like it's what you did.
mm,
Um, and then add features, because the more useful features like cybersecurity features you add, the more value this tool provides them in this, in while it's running. So that's what I would do. I wouldn't like overcomplicate it, but I would like just focus on the most useful features, but like one at a time.
I got you. I got you.
So yeah, so tell me more. Like, so how did it work? So you asked Replit like build me this feature, that feature. How did you
It pretty
export
much
it?
all
Like,
comes
yeah,
from ChatGPT.
was that?
It all pretty much the ideas came from ChatGPT. Well, I
Ah,
have not joined the RIP Replit yet. I have not joined it. I'm probably going to do it tonight, later tonight. I just got home a few minutes ago, so um, it's all happening as we speak.
ah. I'm a little confused. Can you maybe go back and explain how did you were saying you built you built it in ChatGPT code assistant?
Right, right,
Ah,
right, right.
that is
I'm
very
going to
cool.
have Replit reinvent the same thing to see if they match, if they
Ah,
do the same thing or not. But as I said, it all is happening as we speak.
I think you might not even need Replit because the ChatGPT code assistant is supposed to. I didn't use it, but it's supposed to be pretty good.
It's working fine. It's working fine. That's why I didn't use the ChatGPT. I was going to join ChatGPT over the weekend, but
You mean Replit?
I am going to join it probably tonight.
Uh, I feel like you don't need Replit that much because ChatGPT Code Assistant did what you needed to do. Um, and I think really the challenge is to make sure that the current customers like are having like demonstrable results. They're happy, and if you slowly perfect it, add features so that you can kind of have a rich feature set relatively shortly, and then kind of actually sell it to more and more similar clients. Because I think this is a super useful thing for a lot of small businesses, and it saves them a lot of money because otherwise they would have to hire somebody. But this way, it runs in the background much better.
The reason I was going to join Replit was for the website building features.
Mm.
I truly like Replit. I really like you. It was your recommendation. Your recommendation was Replit. I think it was uh, Perplexity or whatever. And then there was three recommendations you made. And GoDaddy. I think those are three recommendations came from you.
Yeah, well, I don't think you'll need the perplexity because it's for a specific use case that I have in my software, and I don't know that
Mm.
GoDaddy is just like not the best for domains, but it's just easy sometimes. But uh, I think the ChatGPT code assistant can probably equally similarly create a website for you, just like Replit might. So I wonder
That's why I
if,
didn't join Replit yet.
yeah.
But the more I read about Replit and what it can do for a website, I find it more useful. I
Mm.
truly like Replit. I don't know why, but I fell in love with it for what it does and what it creates in a matter of seconds or two. I mean, minute or two. It's just amazing what it does. I'm going to join Replit for sure. The others,
Okay.
I'm wondering.
Yeah, yeah. I also really really like it because of the detail of how it explains everything that it does technically, so you can kind of follow along and understand your software's architecture. Because once you build a feature, it gets pretty complicated, like all these features. And so, and then I also learn about like software architecture and able to direct it better once I know what it does. Um, the challenge is maybe a little hard to make it like interoperable. So you'll have to like rebuild the agent software also inside Replit, because I don't know that they can talk to the ChatGPT code assistant. I don't know that they can work concurrently.
I don't know how many people are listening to this conversation, but I still work for the state of Texas for for little time that I have free. I'm doing what I can with my little free time that I have.
Uh,
So, but I told Alex this. I don't know how many people are listening to this, but I'm going to soon, very soon, quit my job at the state of Texas because I cannot drive there 4 or 5 days since Trump came aboard. Nothing political, but they said that I have to be at work 4 or 5 days a week, and
oh,
I'm not going to do it. I just can't do it. I just cannot possibly do it.
how long is your commute
2.5 hours at times, depending on what time you hit the road.
each way?
One way.
Wow,
Yes,
that's a
sir.
long one. Wow. Yeah, it's
So
hard.
if you hit the road at the right time, at least 4 hours, go to work and come back. That's 4 hours of my time in the day is gone
Yeah,
doing
yeah, that's
nothing,
tough.
sitting in traffic.
That's real
That's
tough.
too
Yeah,
much.
too much.
The good
Okay.
thing is, Alex, my daughter went to college, and my wife, poor wife, doesn't fuss about it, but I fuss about it. 4 hours is 4 hours.
Yeah, that's painful. Yeah, it's hard to do. Um, but it's exciting to have this project because if it can work, it's definitely a very like easy to, not easy, but you can kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel for how to make it a commercial product. that's really useful for people, and not just businesses, but like individuals as well. Because I think a lot of the small business owners, they kind of use it a lot of times as just consumers. Can I go to this internet website? Can I go to that internet website? So um, it's very cool. So I think, yeah, like you saw in the training for Replit can build you a website like literally today. And I guess if it's a downloadable, you can ask it to make this a downloadable, and just test it really thoroughly. Kind of like, what happens if you put it on your computer, other computers? Does it really do the thing it's supposed to do? And then if it is, um, you can start reaching out, like doing marketing with this, um, both with SEO, but also with like, you saw the outreach tool that I have. I think something like that. So you can just email businesses, small business owners. You can kind of email them, hey, I got this like cybersecurity, help you protect your data kind of thing. Um, Maybe a
Mm.
software, not saying my software package, but something like that could be a good way to let people know, right? Because if it's super useful, people will be like, okay, I need that. Because people's computers slow down. They think it's like the computer is getting old, but it's really a bunch of software running in the background and other things that they did that they're not supposed to, that is not so helpful. Um, and if this agent can address that, I think it's pretty commercially viable. Just have to start selling.
Should I focus on AI agents for cybersecurity at the moment? That was one of my main questions. I
Yeah, and
think I'm
just
spending too much time on too many different things. Should I just focus on cybersecurity AI agent for the moment?
as opposed to helping like small businesses manually, kind of.
Yeah. Well, I'm helping them with 100 different things, but that's not part of this conversation. But for what I do for them from a security point of view, should I just spend focus on AI agents for cybersecurity for this time being?
Well, I don't know. Like if you're getting actual cybersecurity clients, small businesses,
Mm,
um, probably you want to keep that practice going just like it has been,
mm,
because when your agent software is ready, these are the first people you'll test on. You'll test on their computers. You'll sell to them. So they're very valuable to have like customers like that.
But what I'm asking you is the reason what I'm saying is there's a lot of things I want to build in this AI agent. It's not just one or two things. There's a lot of things I want to build inside this AI agent, and that's what I'm asking you. Should I focus on that? Spending feature, not making it big where you install it on the user's computer and then eats at lunch for lunch, but more of there's a things that I want this agent to be able to do versus what I'm having it to do at this time. Is that make any sense?
Yeah, I'm trying to think through it. I think you don't want to over feature, because then you over feature, create a
Mm,
bunch of bugs, and if your customers are
mm,
not tech savvy, they won't know how to get around the bugs. They'll think something's wrong. Like,
mm.
um, so I would focus on like the core features that you're considering, test, release, and then add new features very, very slowly. Because maybe you've heard of this Eric Ries, the lean startup software methodology of like, you kind of release a little piece each time, give it to a customer, see what they say. If it's good, you add more, kind of make it iterative. So like don't drop all the features at once, but make it like little iterations. And with little iterations, I think uh, this will be, that's kind of the modern way to develop software. It's just, try a little thing, release it that. Another little thing, release that. Um, and pretty quickly with that iterative approach, uh, you'll kind of have a a beta product that people can use. But yeah, just add features that you think are like core features that people really need, that your clients specifically really need, because your clients will also be like the first users of this and the first people that you can sell this to. Um, does that answer?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yep, yep. Yeah, I'm spending my time at the moment on a lot of different things on SEO and some other fancy stuff. And then what I was thinking loudly, I'm bouncing it off of you to see, should I just focus on site? There's a lot of things you can do. There's quite a bit you can do. But I 100% agree with you. I learned all this from you, where you know, test it one at a time. You know, what I do, which is might not be the same thing as you do. I test a crazy lot. I spend a lot of time troubleshooting, make sure it does not bug the person's computer, because they're not technically savvy, as you said, and they don't know what the hell to do with it when they come up with a bug. They don't know if it's a bug, if
Yes.
it's the internet, if it's their computer, if it's Sam. They can't tell the difference. So in my case, I agree with you 100%. So I test a crazy amount of time on the actual product before I let them have it. I know the fact that I'm dealing with people that are not technically savvy at all.
Cool. Yeah, I think it would be great if you start putting up your website now, and
Mm,
even if like you can start selling it early, even before it's ready, because the reality is that
mm.
like the first day you start selling anything, you're not going to sell it. It takes some time, but at least you can have something kind of live, and something you can show the people and say, hey, I'm selling, here's the website, here's this, and you can actually get ideas from clients of whether they would buy it, right? Because that's the other part of the process, is like you show it to a client. I've been working hard on the software, it sounds good in theory, what do you think, would you use it? And so that way you can kind of start showing it to clients sooner and talking about it with clients sooner as well. um, so yeah, I think it's very, very, very useful to create a Replit website today. um, Put it up, start getting people's opinions. What do you think? Do you think you'll be able to kind of have that kind of a timeline, like website today or
That's about
tomorrow?
that's about to happen. That's about to happen. I'm bouncing it off of you as getting a second opinion. Somebody is doing my website at the moment. A lady is. She's doing it at no charge. She's a friend of mine. And so, um, a couple of the questions that I threw at you earlier before this meeting was, if you when you take time, you don't have to do it today. Um, Look at it. Basically, you told me a long time ago to separate my website into cybersecurity and AI and SEO. That's what you said long time ago, 4 months ago, 5 months
Yeah, yeah.
ago. I, but what I've done, well, I haven't. She has. She made the changes, but she put it all on the same site. That means you go on the site, it's divided, it's thoroughly divided. You go into a cybersecurity end, and you get into an
Let's
AI and
share
SEO
screen,
end.
so we can share screen so that people can see what's there. So let me quickly figure out how to share the screen.
Go.
uh I guess I can do it from YouTube. Hmm.
I don't know how to do that on YouTube, to be honest with you.
Let me, I got it here, I just have to. Okay, so I think I'm gonna be able to share screen, and the website is here. So it's
Mhm. That's it.
so we have secure, optimize, innovate, and then we have services, SEO, cybersecurity. Yeah, because we were thinking about separating them, right? Because SEO doesn't quite go hand in hand with cybersecurity. Um,
Okay.
because people will be like, well, I thought you're cybersecurity. No, your SEO is confusing. So generally, it would be two different websites, but um,
Should I really have two different websites, or what I have in here is enough? Alex, what do you think? Or take out SEO at this time. What is your opinion?
I think because knowing what we know, like at the moment you don't have SEO clients, right? It's just a kind of an upstart idea.
Right.
um, if you're doing an SEO agency, it probably distracts from the cybersecurity and the AI stuff.
Okay.
um, so if you're expert, usually like the stuff that makes you the most money is the stuff you have expertise in. um, so if you're a little bit new to SEO, okay, you can do SEO stuff, but I think people will mostly hire you for cybersecurity stuff. So
And they
I
have.
would, yeah, so I would kind of put that front and center
Mm.
and have that be as the focus.
Okay. Thank you so
Um,
much. Appreciate it.
because I feel like people get distracted. Like people even tell me, like because I have like too many courses on Udemy, so they're like they don't know. Do you teach marketing? Do you teach business? Do you teach strategy? Do you teach personal development and productivity? What do you teach? And so people actually tell me the same thing, and it's a common issue. It's like if you have multiple different things listed on your website, it will confuse a lot of people. So that's why I really don't want to confuse people. So for that reason, I'd be like, okay, let's take out the uh sorry, I lost my window of with your website. Where was it? Here, there. Yeah, I would take out
Okay.
SEO.
I'm taking notes as you say.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Um, what I also do is to do a lot of training for because most of these people are not technically savvy, so that's why you see the word training. I'm
hmm
gonna I'm gonna change this website after I talk to you. I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna take out the SEO. I'm gonna get out of the training quite a bit
yeah.
because it's not working.
But
Uh,
look, like
mm,
the website itself. You know how like you told me you have somebody working on it now.
yes, sir.
You don't need to do that because look, I'm gonna just show you. Um,
Well, that's why I'm gonna join the Replit. I
exactly
won't do it
right because
myself.
exactly because you'll have a website that looks like this. It just it's not the most beautiful site in the world, but it looks like professional, right? And Replit can make something like this for you in like I don't know 5 minutes. You have
Got
to
it.
tell it to like adjust this text, put this there. Sometimes it messes up. It doesn't know your pricing, so like you have to tell it what the pricing is, whatever, right? Um, but at least it takes just minutes to make every change, or sometimes seconds, and you have to wait. And like this look and feel is like sort of modern professional. There's some errors here, like this icon in the middle, these blue icons are different kinds of icons than others here. So it's weird. It creates these weird bugs sometimes, but
Yes, sir.
it's also just takes 10 seconds to, once you notice it, it takes 10 seconds to like fix it. So it's not a problem at all. Um, but I think where you're running into an issue is like the person who is creating your website, they're not like a professional designer, they're kind of like helping you, but they don't have like a job like, hey, I'm a designer, a web developer, because right, so because they don't have that kind of maybe they want to get into the space, but the current design doesn't look like it's created by a web developer or designer. Is it, it looks a little disconnected, like the style, the look and feel doesn't kind of work together. um, and the AI based one with Replit will really help you to do that.
Okay. Okay.
um,
Understood.
yeah.
Understood. That's why I want to jump into this Replit thing very soon. I'm pretty much done with the training. I'm almost done with your YouTube class. I'm done with your. You did a great job on that. Um, um, YouTube, and then you did it on Udemy. Udemy is kind of like a repeat of what you had already put on the YouTube. You pretty much gave everybody the opinion idea on the YouTube, but then the Udemy kind of Udemy. I think section 3 or 4 is where you really go into. This is how you really create comments and things in your website. It's a great course you have on your Udemy.
Thank you, thank you. um, and yeah, I appreciate you saying that and taking the course also. um, but yeah, it's amazing because in the past dealing with freelancers was such a bad experience, right? Because they all say, oh, I'm good, but then they create like a suboptimal website and it's like a struggle. You have to hire another one and redo everything. And uh, the AI website creation kind of helps a
Well,
lot.
if anybody's listening to this conversation, you need to look at Alex's website very thoroughly. The way I look at it, the way I take notes, that's why it takes me a long time to finish a course, is I take notes. I take notes in case a doctor says, I need to know how to do this. I say, here, this is what you need to do. Go to Alex's course, take Alex's course, but this is what you need to do. I write the lesson plan for them.
See,
That's why as I take the course from Alex, I write the lesson plan because I'm an MCT. I don't know if you knew that or not. I'm an MCT, Microsoft Certified Trainer, and then it's CTT Plus. These are training certifications. This is what I do on the side when I can't sleep. So that's why I will open my big mouth and I tell people that I'm a technical trainer, and I fall into that trap, and I become a technical trainer. Anyway,
so I'm just trying. I was realized I'm still sharing my screen. I think I stopped sharing my screen. I think.
yep. I think I don't see it anymore.
Let me try to figure this out. Um, yeah, I think it's gone. You're right. Sometimes like YouTube takes a while to update. Um, okay, cool. So I think we have a really pretty good plan for you. You know, you're gonna create this website, try to promote it, create these agents. Um,
I'll let you see the agent's features very soon when I'm done with it. Before I see the reason I haven't put it on my website yet because I don't have the personnel to handle the load. Because as soon as I advertise it, I know I'm going to get 100, 50 different customers. That's why I haven't advertised it. I want to perfect it before I advertise it. That's what I'm doing.
it's good to test. Yeah, sometimes you'll be surprised. Like you make something and people don't know enough, don't know about it,
Mhm.
so they like don't join because just they don't know. You know. So sometimes the marketing does take like a while to kick in. Um, but yeah, you really want to test. Like, because sometimes the website works for one person, but when you have multiple users logging in and you have to deal with their authentication systems and blah blah blah, it takes it's harder for Replit to build. I ran into like a lot of bugs with authentication, session management, and whatever all these things. Um, but those are kind of like reasonable problems to have because as long as you launch the website, build the agent, start promoting it, that's really an exciting space to be. Um,
I have one
because
question.
yeah,
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but aside from advertising cybersecurity AI agents that I created, where else would you put it beside my website? Would you advertise it somewhere else, or my website is good enough?
I think that's the trick. Well, um, if people don't go to your website very much, if it's not a highly trafficked website,
Mhm.
um, then
Where would you go?
right. So like, what do you promote it? This is a really hard thing. Um, that's the why it's a good idea to give it to your existing clients because to them you can just explain. You have their ear. Uh, with other businesses or other individuals, they have to find you somehow. But everywhere you promote is competitive, right? Uh, SEO competitive, YouTube competitive. So that's actually a good thinking point. Like, how do you promote this? Um, Maybe different cybersecurity communities. Maybe remember that actually, like I mentioned earlier. Remember like that tool that I'm building, the outreach tool. Um, like for example, if I share my screen,
I don't
um,
know if you shared it with me yet.
let me try. Just share screen. I think it's gonna be shared on the live stream soon. Let's see how it's gonna work because it like takes the live stream 10 or 15 seconds to catch up. But if I share screen and if I go, see, like I'm on my software that's the outreach agent, and if you look at like types of businesses, like local businesses, right, like very coffee shops or something, right, or like maybe doctors, and you go New York, radius 5 miles, max results. You can search for more, but just five. You can find local businesses, and
Oh, is this the one you're talking about?
this is the one that I'm building, right? And so you
Ah,
like select them, right? And then you can email them. You choose your, so you can train your AI, like you can tell AI like what you're selling, why it's good,
mm,
create a template, and then
mhm.
you can send it out. So that
That-
way you can let small businesses know the value proposition, like, hey, we're gonna help you not get viruses anymore, or we're gonna help you do this and that, and preserve your data, right? Data security, stuff like this, whatever your features are. Um, so
oh,
that's
I build my own?
of this outreach software.
Yeah.
Well, you can use mine. I guess this is sort of my agent that I'm building, which is a commercial product. You can use it very discounted, but like I think it costs me money to because it uses like a bunch of AI APIs and sending emails. So it costs me a little bit money. So I'm still trying to figure out like I appreciate that you're on these calls all the time
Well,
and
if
you've
you have a
taken a
little
bunch of my
money
courses.
you
So
charge, I don't
I
mind
would never
helping you
make it like
out.
expensive for you.
Mm. Please let me know when
We
you're
can
done with
figure
it.
out something
I've seen
that's
you
like
using that in your demos.
yeah, yeah. I have some bugs in it that I'm trying to work through, but I'm hoping very dearly by Monday to have it like at least kind of ready. And at that time, it's going to be possible to use. So, if you create your website by this time, I can't promise that I'll have it by Monday because like it's a little bit like two steps forward, one step back, but soon enough, like if it's
Mm,
not this week, it's going to be another week, but soon enough, I'll have it
mm.
ready. And yeah, you can use it and you can promote your agent through this, which would be a really cool use case, actually.
Write me down as a user of this, and I'll
Yeah.
help you pay for it if you don't mind, if you'd be kind. And then I like it. I've seen you use it in demo. It's pretty fancy. It's pretty nice.
It's
So
in
I
theory,
don't mind using it at all.
yeah, in theory, it's really amazing, but in detail, in the details of it are a little tricky because sometimes this doesn't work, sometimes that doesn't work. It's like different use cases work a little differently. But um, yeah, okay. So Monday, if if I release it Monday, I'll email you about it.
Please.
If I don't release it, if I don't email you about it, that just probably means that I need a couple of more
What's
days.
the name of it again?
It's a
Breeze something?
breezysend.com. Yeah, I'll put
Breeze
it.
Easy? How
I'll
you
put it
spell
in
it?
chat. Breezysend.com. I
I
don't know
don't
if you
see the
can see the
chat.
chat of this call or not.
I cannot see the chat.
I'll email you in your email.
Put it in the chat one more time.
1 second. I'll email you your email and then I'll put it in chat.
Because I had to turn the chat on. I've never used this. Um,
Okay, so I just emailed you.
Thank you so much.
Then, uh,
How usable is it now the way it is?
um, little bit. It's a little bit usable, but it's like if it has even tiniest flaws, it's not going to be effective because uh, the people you're reaching out to, small business owners,
Mm-hmm.
they get so bombarded by different outreach
Mm-hmm.
that if they see some flaw, like some problem in the email template, or it's not perfect, the pitch is not perfect or something, then they're like delete, so they have very little patience.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
and then, is this the chat you were talking about? This? I just put
Yeah.
this. Okay, so
Yeah. Yes.
this will disappear when the call is done. So,
Right. I know.
I send it to your email, and I also there's a chat in the actual live stream that
That's
chat, I
fine.
put it there, but we don't need it there because you have it in your email. Um, but yeah, that software is exciting. I just it's been a little very frustrating because it's like it always feels like, oh, I'm so close, but then it's like, oh, I gotta build this and that and build this and that and fix this bug, and sometimes the software also creates bugs on its own, and it's like, okay, why did you do that? So that's the kind of thing. But yeah, let's try to aim for Monday, and I'll update you whether it's ready or not. I'll so yeah.
Super.
Um,
Fantastic. I
okay,
appreciate the coaching part. The second opinion is very important to me. I count on your blessing that comes my direction. So I count on it. That's why I ask. I wouldn't
yeah.
ask if I didn't count on it.
Thank you, and thank you for all that, and thank you for all the kind words. Um, so I think we have a good plan. That I feel good kind of leaving it here because you have work to do.
Yes, sir.
The Replit, the website, I have work to do, and hopefully by the end of this weekend and by Monday we can both have like a next phase of our business where we take the next step and promote it.
Fantastic. Thank you. If you need somebody to speak on your behalf, on your courses, on your Udemy or whatever, I'm here. I'm already vote for it.
I think the only thing, the only thing is you saw me. The main thing I'm working on is you saw me promoting that cryptocurrency that I launched because I'm promoting that pretty heavily now. So if you ever want to get any, by the way, if you ever want to take any courses or have any discounts on anything that I do, if you can pay with that
Mm.
cryptocurrency, I can offer a bunch of discounts. And so um, that's really
Let me
the,
tell you why I
yeah,
haven't signed up for it.
yeah, yeah.
Because I don't know. I'm a dumb. I'm very dumb when it comes to cryptocurrency. I'm very dumb about it. So as soon as I come to a point where I understand a little more than
Yeah.
I want to, then I'd love to get involved with that. Do you think that's kind of worth it with what you and I are into?
Um, for me, right, because it's my cryptocurrency, like it would help me. I think for people, yes, in general, because like to understand the value of cryptocurrency, you have to understand how money works. Like, for example, inflation in the US dollar is like, real inflation, not
Mm,
reported inflation, is 5%.
mm,
Uh, any transaction fees, you buy anything anywhere, PayPal fees, credit card fees, 5% or less. But like, these costs are passed down to the consumers, and suddenly inflation plus transaction fees, you're out like just about 10%, right? Any value you have on your money,
mm,
it's like, oh, you think you have $1, but the value you have is 90
mm,
cents. And so that's just the beginning, because your money gets the value of your money gets eroded every time you transact. There's more fees, more taxes, sales fees, etc. So embracing cryptocurrency for your own personal finance, there's inherent risks with cryptocurrency, but there's inherent risks with not using it, because the traditional monetary system is very, very broken, and you just stay poor, because if you hold dollars, they dwindle in value, and that's also risk. So we all have to sort of figure out, instead of fiat currency, how to hold assets, which assets, blah blah blah, all these kinds of things. But it's certainly, the if you want to preserve your wealth, working is one way, but also what do you do after you earn the money, right? So it's a good education in cryptocurrency. My particular one, it's early, it's high risk, it's speculative, but precisely because it's speculative, it has the potential for very high returns. Because if it wasn't speculative, if it was a sure thing, it would no longer have, it would have like grown a lot already, right? So it would
mm.
no longer be the potential that it has now. So that's why I like it for the potential at the moment, as a bet, but not a big bet that people would make.
Is there like a min and max purchases for your cryptocurrency? Is there a min and a max?
Yeah, you can buy a penny's worth.
$10, 20, 50, 100? I
Yeah,
mean, do
you
you have
can.
a number?
I mean, anybody can buy as little as a penny, right? So like, if you obviously nobody buys a penny's worth, it doesn't make sense.
Mm,
But yeah, like a couple of dollars, $5, $10, it's a good starting point. So it's like, it's almost nothing, but at the same time gives you the, like, a way to kind of tip your toes into the pool.
You've already shared about how to get involved with your cryptocurrency in pieces, and I've taken notes of it. If you'd be very kind, just send me if you have a direction of this is how you join Alex's thing. One more time.
I'll
I've
send you a
taken
video
notes
through
of it
email.
piece at a
Yeah,
time, but I don't know if I have it. But I'll try to use it. If not, I'll let you know. Or if you want to beat me to it, send me the directions, and I'd love to get involved with it.
yeah.
I love to get involved with it.
Cool. I'll send you after this call ends. I'll send
Okay.
you what I have, and yeah, yeah, and thank you for your interest in it also, and your openness to it. I think since probably we're on this call exactly for 1 hour, I think
Mhm.
maybe we won't make it like a super long
Okay.
session today, but and like we'll still use the rest of the evening to work. That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Send
Cool.
me the directions, and then I'll join it. And I, j- I'm very dumb about cryptocurrency. That's why I haven't joined it. I would have joined it a long time ago, but I'm very dumb about it. So.
I wouldn't use that term, but it does have a frustratingly boring and
Mm,
complicated learning curve,
mm,
which is a problem with it.
I gotcha.
But eventually people kind of learn a little bit of time. But I'll send you everything. And I guess for this call, um, yeah, thanks for joining me on it. It was fun. I think it's good to chat face to face finally. Um, and I think it's exciting because both of us have work ahead that we need to do. Um, and yeah, we'll continue on this in the next live sessions. We'll talk about updates. Um,
One out. I don't know what happened.
yeah, yeah. Uh, it's okay. I got you. So yeah, we'll just catch up on updates, and hopefully by Monday, I can give you access to the software so you can use it.
Yeah, you went out. Audio and video went out completely
Yeah,
for almost a minute.
I would
But
I would
I'll
just
wait to get that in.
I was just kind of wrapping up the call, and um, yeah, I think we've kind of come in a good ended up in a good ending
Thank you.
point. So I guess let's say good night for now, and we'll keep on chatting through
Thank
email,
you.
and we'll catch up on the next live calls.
Thank you very much. Tell the family I said hi
We'll do.
from Texas.
All right. Thank you very much. Same to you.
Thank you,
And
sir.
all right, we'll talk soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Cool.
Bye
Bye.
bye.